Our gaming project. So in this short video, I'll be talking about the new upcoming 3.0 artifacts that will be available. So I don't have them on the screen, of course, because they're not available yet, but I do have the information from the live stream that was taken, and I believe it's also in the 3.0 Sumeru preview page that's now live as well. So I'll just read it off. So the first set is Deepwood Memories. A 2-piece set will give you dendro damage bonus of 15%, and the 4-piece set will give you, after you use an elemental skill or burst and it hits the opponents, the target's dendro resistance will be decreased by 30% for 8 seconds, and this effect can be triggered even if the equipping character is not on the field. Let's talk about that first. So that's actually very similar to your standard elemental type. As you can see with Cryo here, 2-piece is the typical 15% for that element, right? And then the 4-piece is something specific to how that element interacts with other elements or how the element is played normally. So this is a very specific, typical dendro set. So obviously the Deepwood memories will be perfect for, of course, tighnari and collei, and later on, whenever that is, the dendro archon, of course, and alhaitham, which was already revealed to be a dendro character in their teaser/anime PV that they released on Hoyoverse. So those are the 4 for sure confirmed dendro characters that can make use of that set, the 2-piece and the 4-piece. Okay. Next, moving along, and the reason why I have Kazuha on the screen, so I'll explain that after. The second set is called Gilded Dreams, okay? The 2-piece set will give you Elemental Mastery plus 80, and the 4-piece set will give you, within 8 seconds of triggering an elemental reaction, the character equipping this will obtain buffs based on the elemental types of the other party members in the team, I'm assuming. And the attack is increased by 14% for each party member whose elemental type is of the same equipping character, same as the equipping character, and the elemental mastery will be increased by 50 for every party member with a different elemental type. So each of the aforementioned buffs will count up to 3 characters, and this effect can be triggered once every 8 seconds. The character who equips this can still trigger its effects when not on the field. So that's pretty good. So what this actually translates to is that it basically wants you to use either the same characters or not the same characters, but regardless, you're still going to benefit either way. So for example, if we have tighnari and collei, which is the only 2 characters available for dendro, for example, if you didn't give them the Deepwood memories and you gave them the Gilded Dreams instead and made them pure support, then they would get, of course, a 2-piece set bonus of the Elemental Mastery plus 80. And then in addition to that, they would also, because they're on the same team, then they can give each other the attack plus 14%. And then any other people that you put on their team with them would get Elemental Mastery plus 50 instead, more or less. So that's basically how it sounds like to me. So this set is very specific. I wouldn't call it niche, but it's very specific because it is actually very universal. Elemental Mastery is a very universal set. And the reason why I brought up Kazuha here is because, as you know, with Kazuha and other animal swirling characters, himself, Venti, and even Sucrose and Shikanoi and Heizo, they will be benefiting from the 4-set Viridescent Venerer set. And I had taken lots of pain recently to farm him up to finally give Kazuha a 4-piece set that is all Elemental Mastery because I was changing out his pieces. So as you can see on the screen, it's of course aside from the animal bonus for 2-piece, the 4-piece set is swirling damage, etc., right? But regardless of that, Kazuha specifically, and maybe Venti and Sucrose, not Shikanoi and Heizo, and not necessarily Jean either, or Xiao or any of the others. They need Elemental Mastery, okay? Because they do lots of swirling. So Venti, Kazuha, and Sucrose, they do lots of swirling damage. And perhaps the Gilded Dreams could be an alternative option for swirling purposes, right? Even if you don't do, the 2-piece, if you don't do the 4-piece Viridescent Venerer for them, maybe you can try a 4-piece Gilded Dreams. That could be interesting, of course. Now, the 2-piece Elemental Mastery bonus of 80 is nothing new or nothing specific to, of course, Gilded Dreams. I believe that is already available, yes, on the Wonderous Troop, which we can get more often just from killing weekly bosses or from, playing through the game. Basically, you can get these more often. So, I mean, I would say that these new artifacts are very interesting for sure. They're currently still a little bit niche, but because already you would have had characters built up already or whatnot. So I would say that these are good, but I wouldn't say that you have to go and discard whatever you already have built up on your other characters to try out these new ones. So that's my recommendation. Don't waste resin unless you really want to try it out. Of course, that's fine for content purposes or just because your original sets weren't that great to begin with. Definitely, though, I believe we'll be farming for the dendro set for collei and for tighnari, though. The Gilded Dreams, I feel like, is definitely a nice to have, but it's not like something that you have to like farm specifically for in order to swap out other pieces for. But yeah, the Deepwood memories, I feel like every player entering Sumeru and getting collei for free, and of course we're going to get a Dendro Traveler as well. But you know, if we're going to get tighnari and go for the Dendro Archon and also go for alhaitham, then yes, the Deepwood memories is worth farming. But it may not be something that you have to farm crazily right away because I feel like collei and even tighnari can also benefit similarly to how Ganyu can. She can do like the Blizzard set, or she can also do the Wonderous Troop, which I personally use as well, which is okay as well, because as you can see, the 4-piece set is for charge attacks, which would work really well for tighnari as well. Collei, maybe not so much, but collei could be more universal. She could probably be like maybe a 2-piece Wanderers and a 2-piece Gladiator, or 2-piece Shimenawa, or you know, something like that, or a mix for 4-star characters. Usually you don't need to care so much. But like, let's just keep it simple. Like for tighnari, I think a Wondrous Troop set would be perfect for him to start, especially because we would have to then find that domain, unlock it. There's usually some puzzle mechanic perhaps to unlock it, and then we have to farm it and then hope for RNG to get good pieces, right? So in the meantime, I feel like Wondrous Troop could be a great starting placeholder set for tighnari and even collei, and then you can farm better pieces for them or swap them out for different pieces. Yeah, with collei, again, she can do a mix match set of two-piece sets, you know, or just do like attack percentage and, you know, elemental mastery. I think that's fine. I don't think that there's anything more that she needs to like focus on. I don't think there's anything else that's more suitable for her than the generic ones like Wanderers and Gladiators and Shimenawa, and even maybe like these Jade ones. Yeah, I guess, right? Or these sorry, yeah, what set is this called? Echoes, I mean. And the Vermilion set, like maybe these could be something, right? Yeah, I would just leave it at that. Or maybe even emblem set could be okay, depending on the situation. But yeah, I would just say these new artifacts are definitely worth farming, but they're not like you must go crazy on them right away, though. All right, I'm going to leave it there, and stay tuned for the next few videos where I'll be talking about the character banners and my rerun predictions for 3.1 as well. And do check out my other videos about the 3.0 craftable weapons and the new weapons as well. And I will see you